Okay, so if you've been keeping up with my videos and you saw the last one, you would know that the day before to this day that I'm recording now, I had a physical dynamics coursework due, and it was very long, it was very tedious. Only at 11:30 in that night did I get it done. That fatigue kind of carried itself over into the next day, and obviously, as you guys know, today on Tuesday, I have the labs and I have to submit the lab report, which is also 10% on my grade. So there was no rest for me. I just had to wake up again, get into school reasonably early, and just start working on my lab report. And I went to Ground Cafe and I started working on my lab report. Normally I would have some sort of lab report kind of like already in progress, in the making, kind of being constructed, and on Tuesday I would kind of like be concluding it and finishing off. But because I was so busy with the coursework yesterday, I literally had to spend the whole of today starting the lab report from the beginning. So as I said in the previous video, I had no time to prepare, no time to plan. So literally from scratch today, it's like 9 o'clock when I got there. By 5, I got to have a finished lab report. After Ground Cafe, I must have gone into the library because that's what the videos show. I didn't get a chance to record on this actual day. When I'm recording this, it's been like quite a while. It's been like a week and a half since I'd done that lab and that coursework, which I don't normally try and do. But it just goes to show how much like it really took out on me. Because after today, after this day that I'm recording for now, on Wednesday, I had to sleep in. On Thursday, I had to sleep in. It was so stressful. It was so unbelievably stressful. It took me out of commission. I wasn't productive on the Wednesday or on the Thursday. I didn't even show up to my lecture. I think I skipped gym on one of the days as well. It was really tough. Trying to understand what we're doing, trying to as well have a decent lab report to show. It's our last lab. I think I mentioned that, but I'll mention it again. It would be something for me to actually look forward to had I not been so fatigued from the previous day and dreading this day. It was a pretty lonely day as well today. I don't think I spoke to that many people. I was just so busy doing the lab report. I then went into labs after a quick break. I went outside for a little bit, had some time to kill, surprisingly enough, right? And then I went into labs and I told my lab partner the other day, I was like, okay, look, I'm doing my coursework now, I'm very sorry, but tomorrow I would have done the coursework and 100% of my focus will be on labs, which is true, but I was gonna be like, I'll carry you tomorrow, I'll take the blunt of the work, I'll kind of do all of it, but I had still not, at this point, at 2 o'clock, I had still not done my lab report. And it's from 2 to 5, right? And the deadline to submit is by 5, and I was like, I'm not even gonna have a lab report to submit, and I'm on the clock here. And so I was like to him, look, I am so sorry. I know I said I promised that I would help you tomorrow and I'd be more useful today, but I still have a lab report to do and it's due at 5 and I'm still so behind. And if I start helping you now, if I start leading the way, I'm not gonna get finished. So I was like, look, I'm very sorry, but I'm gonna have to do my lab report. And yeah, there wasn't much I could do. I promised him, which is not good because I don't like breaking my promises. Because if you break your promise to someone else, you break your promise to yourself, right? I didn't want to do that, but I had to. So I was like, okay, fine. I'll buy you lunch one day. I was like, whatever you want, Nando's, chicken chop, whatever, coffee, whatever you want, I'll just have that. But could you just carry on doing, this is going to sound so horrible. I was like, could you just carry on doing the entire practical for me? Which sounds really bad. It sounds worse than it is. So he was like, okay, cool. Well, he wasn't like, okay, cool, but he done it. So he started carry on doing the rest of the practical because we still had to, I say we, but he had to take down some more data because we wasn't finished with the practical yet. So we got to finish the practical and finish the lab report, but that's on the precondition that you've already done most of the lab report. I was still behind him in terms of progress. So I'm very thankful to him. I'll take him to lunch. He carried on doing the data. He carried on doing the practical and taking down the data. I did actually help him though, because he was like, Jericho, I'm gonna need your help for this part of it. And basically I had to like turn the knob on the I can't remember what it was, but basically I had to adjust. I think it was the voltage or the current. I had to adjust the voltage or the current, and he would take down the readings. But apart from that, so that did take a bit of time, and I was stressing, like, because I was like, I had to stop what I was doing and I had to do that, and then he called me back again. So I did do a little bit of work, but all the graphs and stuff, he done it all for me. So I have him to thank for that. Shout out to him. Also, guess who showed up today? My lab partner, my original lab partner. My original lab partner showed up. He showed up, I think that the labs end at 5, right? This brother shows up like, what, like 4:15? So like 2 hours and 15 minutes late. He hasn't showed up to any of the labs beforehand. But when I saw him, I was just like shocked and surprised. I was like, yo, it's my lab partner, guys. It's my actual lab partner. And then, so that was quite funny. I was like, hi, how you doing? And he was like, yeah, it's good. And you know, he's such a cool guy as well. He came in like with 45 minutes to spare. I'm not sure, but I don't think he done his lab report either. And he was helping out. He was helping out. My new lab partner, my old lab partner was helping him. So, you know, he's a cool guy, you know. So yeah. And then I think I finally submitted it 6 minutes before the deadline. I say 6 minutes. It's due at 5, but they let you submit it until 5:30. But I handed it in early. I was like, you know what? This has been 2 days in the making. This has been very, very stressful. It's not worth the extra few percent that I may or may not even get. You know, it's like 10% of your grade, which is a lot. But then like from like 62% to like 65%, it's not worth the stress. And it was a lot of stress, to be fair. But after that, I was so glad this day was over. That sounds negative, but I was just so glad that this whole ordeal was over, this double down of coursework. Because it really did take a lot out of me. It took a lot of stress out of me. Even at 5, like, I was so happy. And I was walking with my friend. But I was just so like drained and so tired that I couldn't even show excitement that it was finished, because I was just like, I was knackered. I was taken out. So yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching. Yeah.